Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Finally, we are back to Master Duel, my friends. Yes, it is up and running. You saw that YouTube short I did. I thought it was pretty cool, where I got to show you my hack, how I got it up. Of course, with the help of Derek. Derek, thank you so much, my friend. He gave me the tools I needed, and now we're back and we're here. Now, we are on to a massive, huge tournament that we were supposed to do weeks ago. I believe near the end of July. I think it was not even quite near the end of July. It was like July 22nd or 23rd or something. It was supposed to come out, and it crashed like the day before it was supposed to come out. I remember. And since then we've been doing just like what ifs and stuff requests. But here we are. Shadow Riders What If series is here. So you're going to have to forgive me if I've forgotten some stuff since then, because it's been over a month. Over a month. And now finally we come back to it. So I remember the Society of Light thing is going to be happening right after Shadow Riders, but the Shadow Riders is first, of course, as it was in the anime. And yes, the Shadow Riders are still the same. But there's a lot of lore to go over, so let's go. 35 duelists are in here. The Academy, of course, is in danger. The overarching plot is pretty much the same as Shadow Riders, except there's no Kagemaru. Kagemaru is not in here. But there is a hidden final boss you guys don't know about. So that was my big twist I was going to do for this tournament. Still, let's get started. Obviously, the character here is not the first character I'm going to be reading, because remember what we used to do. What I've made a rule is I'm not showing characters that have been in previous tournaments. I'm showing new characters. So this is the first new character, but I'm going to read from the very beginning. I'm going to start with Lego Man, and by the way, each of you had 6 characters, so don't forget about that. I'm starting with Lego Man's 6 characters. Starting with his Keykeeper, because each of you has a Keykeeper, and I have 3 other Keykeepers besides, 3 other Keykeepers besides that, because there's 1 for each of you, that's 4, and I have 3, that makes 7. 7 Keykeepers, 7 Shadow Riders. So, Keykeeper Rockstein, probably the winner of this tournament, in my opinion, because his deck's so consistent and broken. It's not broken, it's just consistent. Rock was called into Chancellor Emo Kaiba's office. I just love that full name, Chancellor Emo Kaiba. You better call me by Chancellor. Into his office and told about the need to protect the spirit keys. I'm shocked that Kaiba even gave a crap enough to call him into his office. With Rock being chosen to guard one of them thanks to his strategic mind and the skills he showed off in his last tournament. He hasn't been in a tournament in a little bit. He's taken it upon himself to help the others plan for when they face the Shadow Riders. So, second, Dante Asherton. And by the way, when Kaiba invites him in, he's probably just saying, I know you're probably not going to win a single duel, but I'll handle it. I'll step up if you all fail and fall. I could just see him saying something like that, saying, you're not special. I'm just allowing you to give you the chance to save the Academy. So second, Dante Asherton. Dante managed to sneak out of the Slifer Red Dorm amidst the chaos of the Shadow Riders invading the island. Because, now they're on the island. They've invaded. It's not quite as secretive as it was in Season 1 GX. They're more like they're taking people out. They're taking souls. They're ripping souls. They're looking for the power of the keys for the sacred beasts. So anyway, invading the island, and is now dragged into helping Angelica guard her key. Albeit, he really doubts she needs the help. Yeah, as strong as she is. Despite that, however, he plans to still try his hardest. The spirit of Mars in his head has even agreed to form a brief truce while they handle the Shadow Riders. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. He's still trying to convince it that they don't need to set the people they beat on fire, though. Well, It may help a little bit. It can get rid of the trash. Third character for Lego Man, Brenda Mook. And she plays a very important role in this specific tournament for a specific reason. So anyway, Brenda Mook. Brenda managed to slip away from Sadina amidst the invasion. Since Sadina is prioritizing helping to keep the weaker students safe, and thus can't be part of the main action, she plans to get as many of these enemies out of her way as she can in order to help her master. Hold on, wait. The Greed Quasar card within her deck is pulsing with darkness amidst her duels. You love the word amidst, Lego Man. I love it too. Sarah. Sarah, a recently new character. Sarah was tasked by Lee to help fight against the Shadow Riders while he helps keep the other students safe, since he fully believes she is a lot stronger than she got a chance to reveal in the last tournament. She's determined to both make her brother proud and help protect this world. Fifth character, and this is his picture, the first new character, Zachary Adachi. Sarah was tasked by Lee to help fight against the Shadow Riders while he keeps the other students safe. What? Oh, do they have the same? Where is his lore? What? Wait a second. I swear I put his lore in there. Hold on, I'm not going to screw this up. Just forget what I just said for Zachary Adachi. Wait. We're on Zachary Adachi right now. What in the world have I done now? Okay, hold on. Let's see. I'm going to Discord. Lego. How have I screwed this up today? He's a little ways up. I gotta go right here. Aha! Zachary Adachi, the heir to the Adachi Yakuza family. Really? He doesn't look like a... yeah, he looks like a little bit of a bad boy. He looks more like a Zane type, though, where he's real quiet. Zachary was sent to Duel Academy as an Obelisk Blue student in order to get some real-world experience before his father puts him in charge of the family business. Oh, great. He's annoyed by these Shadow Riders coming in on what he sees as his turf and plans to teach them who's boss, even if his bodyguard isn't here today. Okay, I didn't screw that up completely, thank God. Thank gods of Egypt. Okay. Wow, I don't know what in the world happened there. I'm just going past that. And the sixth and final character for Lego Man, Paul. Professor Paul to you. Paul has decided to craft a new deck after his various tournament experiences, feeling it will help him in his goal to protect this world. Losing to Crowler was a final straw he just couldn't allow to stick. Problem, slacker. Even if he can admit that Crowler is a skilled duelist in his own right, he's sticking by Crowler. Hold on, wait. Even if he can't admit. Why did I put can? Can't admit that Crowler is a skilled duelist in his own right. He's sticking by Crowler throughout this to make sure his key is thoroughly protected. Because, honestly, you know, Crowler is a key keeper, but you saw, I mean, in the anime, he had to duel one of the hardest Shadow Riders. If he had dueled the Dark Scorpions or Abydos or Titan, I think he probably could have won those duels. He's skilled enough. He just had to duel Camula. So, we're done with Legos. Now on to Serenity's. Well, this is a she that's a keykeeper, but Serenity's, his keykeeper. Jenny. I'm not saying her full name because her full name is massive, but Jenny. Jenny is overjoyed about being chosen as a keykeeper. She holds a festival for all of her friends, complete with music, dancing, and yummy Vietnamese cooking. She's mad that all the stuff with the Shadow Riders and Yorgville coming back interrupts her festival. So she's very mad they interrupted her festival. Next up, Martine, trying to help Jenny find Yuma still, and helps her with the festival by offering her DJing skills. That is what she's good at, other than dueling. Casey tells her that she's sorry Martine never got to play that card she gave her all those months ago, and that she's sorry Martine didn't make it further in the exams because her opponent cheated. I'm sorry about that. Martine doesn't think anything of it though, and promises after all this is done, they'll have a big slumber party. Oh, does that mean I do another slumber party tournament? Next character for Serenity Spider Monkey, Elf Valkyria. Elf Valkyria is worried that Yorgville has come to the island and is worried about Prue's growing influence too. So Prue has a stake in this with the Shadow Riders, do they? Or is it just separate story? Just happens Prue's there. She asks Lexi to let her handle this. She's cautious around Vapor, but eases her guard when Hita tells Valkyria that Vapor helped Casey beat the Baron Sullivan Blanton a while back. I remember him. Owlboy. Next up, Vapor Piper is pleasantly surprised how well her sister is doing, but wants to prove that she's still the better Piper sister and dominate the island. She tells Blazer and Tay to hang back and plays macabre RPGs in their dorm. Wish I could talk today. She sees her friend Casey on the island and promises that no harm will come to Casey or her friends, including Jenny, Martine, and Elf Valkyria. Vapor gets protective over her friends against Yorg's targeted attacks. So Yorg's using this whole distraction of the Shadow Riders to attack the island as well. Dude, the island is screwed. There's so many duelists falling from this. From the Shadow Riders, Yorgville, whatever stake Prue has in this. Oh my gosh. And not to mention the stuff Mitchell's pulling out. Sorry, I need a drink. I'm in the hallway. Next. And this is the funniest thing. This is the next character by Serenity Spider Monkey. And this is the last character. And this is the funniest thing about all this, to me, is that there's 3 Zack characters. 3 Zack characters in What If series now. There's one from Mitchell Slaughter, there's one from Lego Man, and there's one from Serenity. So this is a new character. Zack Rathrock, younger brother of Aunt Amaryllis. She bullies and insults him constantly. Zack treats Amarylla's favorite cards like garbage, quick to anger, works as a taxi driver. He learned how to drive from a video game. Yeah, didn't all of us kids? Wants to date Casey, oh god. Mistaking her for his crush Chelsea. Even after she asks him to leave her alone, he still pursues her. Vapor, Elf Valkyria, Martine, and Jenny come to her defense. Vapor even threatens to break his legs and push his wheelchair-bound body down an escalator. He thinks Vapor is scary. Dang right after all that. So, that ends it for Serenity Spider Monkey's group. Now we're on to Jammy Jam's group. Keykeeper Angelica. His keykeeper is Angelica. This is the 3rd keykeeper. Angelica, Andy Bell, are very upset that another evil has taken over the island. It's supposed to be her and only her. She doesn't like these riders, especially Camula, who seems to be oogling her brother Justice, as she likes to do to these poor mortals. She plans to end up using her key to strengthen her machine. Spooky. Justice. Alright, main character. Justice does not like the darkness that has taken over the island. He prefers the light far more better. He doesn't mind that vampire lady though. Wink wink. Camilla is such a seductress. He was also finally able to talk to Anya before the invasion. She said bad things are going to happen and to be careful, future king. Justice is like, what is that even supposed to mean? Question mark. Anyway, he knows he can fight these guys off with his new dual spirit, Ryko, the Lightsworn dog. or beast, dog, whatever you call him. Sky. Sky has noticed Justice has been acting weird, talking about the light a lot. The light. Yes. Even the I cannot wait to get to I cannot wait to get to Society of Light because I have a couple tournaments planned for it. So, yeah, is acting weird about the light. Even throughout the date they were on, but she doesn't really mind. What she does mind is the stupid vampire who interrupted their date. Professor Nedrick. Oh my gosh, we have not seen him in ages. Professor Nedrick is mad that Anya is talking to Justice and is planning on a way to punish her. He is also upset that these buffoons are trying to take over this planet. That's his job. Why are there so many evil professors and just jerk professors in general? There weren't this many jerk professors in Duel Academy. At least in the anime, a lot of them were quite nice. Just Crowler and Stein and Viper and Bonaparte. Anya. Anya doesn't want to work for Nedrick anymore and plans on running away. But before she can, Nedrick pulls her into helping fight off the Shadow Riders. Okay, well, Nedrick's kind of roping her here and making sure she does what he wants. Dang, got a duel in his honor? That's terrible. Especially for a guy like that. Brand new character. Brutus Stabsworth. I love the ancient Greek reference. I love it. Brutus Stabsworth. Brutus has served as a knight under Queen Victoria for many years. Hold on a second. I was getting a phone call. Sorry. Brutus Stabsworth. Brutus has served as a knight under Queen Victoria for many years, along with acting as Justice and Angelica's most frequent babysitter while the two royal siblings were growing up. Really? Oh, and by the way, he's 45. Causing him to be Angelica's most frequent target for practice with her crossbow, while far more experienced in regular combat, and generally preferring the ability to just stab or shoot people. Brutus, you can't do that in this world. Brutus is still trained in duel monsters with the help of various warrior spirits, including his and Victoria's visits to the spirit world. He was stationed at the royal family's castle on Duel Academy Island to watch over them during their stay there, and rushed in to help when he heard of the Shadow Rider's arrival. I kind of like him, he's cool. And now, on to Mitchell Slaughter's characters, and his keykeeper, Chiaki. Everyone knows she's the most OP character in all of Master Duel, of all the What If series. Ain't that right, Mitchell? Chiaki receives the spirit key to protect at the behest of Master Miyagi. Sticks close to the sacred girls and Princess Alicia, both to protect them and because Alicia asked her to. For some reason, Ellen gives Chiaki her Neptunian book. And then, I don't know why you didn't add lore for Alice, Uriel, Per Raziel, and Angela Gabriel, but there are three more of his characters. He just didn't add lore for them. This kind of reminds me when Serenity Spider Monkey, they would add lore at the beginning for their characters, but then it would just, like, when they showed up again, just no lore. So I'm not sure if that was on purpose, Mitchell, or whatever, but those three are also here. Princess Alicia. Alice, Uriel, Angela Gabriel, Pearl Raziel, and Princess Alicia. The sacred beasts tell the four of them of the coming danger. Oh, does this cover all of them? It must cover all four of them. Alicia takes the sacred girls to the Volcano Temple, where she convinces Chiaki to help fight the Shadow Riders after Chiaki gets a spirit key. So this is the lore of all of them, really. Of all the ones I've said so far. And now, his sixth character, Darius Brago. Darius Brago discovered by accident that Banner is an evil alchemist named Amnel. Hey, you're not supposed to know that. No one's supposed to know he's Amnel yet. Oh well, that's fine. You're paying for this, so. He decides to join Amnel's Shadow Riders and steals the Emerald Tablet from Princess Alicia. So I guess he'd be the 8th member rather than Kagemari. But there is also a secret boss you guys don't know about. Plus, you got to worry about Society of Light. But Society of Light right now is deep, 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 deep underneath Duel Academy. That's all I'm going to say about that. And they don't have a bother with this. They're just waiting for the dust to clear. And now, I don't think there's any. I mean, just other than the Shadow Riders, like Amnel. Amnel, of course. Now, obviously, we know. I mean, we knew he was Banner because of the anime, and I don't care what anyone says. He still will always have the coolest design of all the Shadow Riders. He is definitely the coolest designed Shadow Rider. His mask was really sick, and his voice when he had his mask on was awesome. Very, very intimidating, very solemn, and very skilled duelist. And in my opinion, the strongest Shadow Rider. But that's debatable. Some people say Camula. Some people would say... So I've seen some people say Tanya is the strongest. I've seen some people say, Nitrile's their favorite, but I don't think Nitrile... Most people say Nitrile's not the best. Anyway, we got Amnel, Camula, and now, before I go on to the next ones, I will say Tillamook is in this one. That's right. I made a deck just for Tillamook. So, there is lore behind Tila. Brenda is here, of course, as expected. Now, while Brenda Mook did slip away from Sadina when the invasion happened, Tila paid Sadina a visit. And she may or may not have bitten him. I don't know if Lego's okay with this, and I didn't want to tell you because I wanted to make it a surprise, but hey, you know what? If you don't like this, it just means she bit him and nothing happened. But if you like it, I would love to keep this part of the plot. She paid him a visit and bit him knowing that is a friend of Brenda Mook, someone close to Brenda Mook. And obviously took out all those weak students. When he was unconscious, took out all those weak students in duels and, maybe sucked their blood. Now, Tila, while she was a regular human in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or manga, she's a legit vampire here, and she's the sister of Camula, Shadow Rider. So these two are sisters. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. These two are sisters. And Tila is the younger sister, and that means Brenda is technically a sister as well to Camula, because no one ever really knew Camula's last name. It's Mook too. So I don't know if you like this lore, Lego. I love to add this lore. I just thought it would be really spooky, creepy. Add a vampire world to Yu-Gi-Oh! That we didn't get in GX. It's just she was the only vampire, and I wanted to add some more to like the vampire world of Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope you're okay with this, Lego. But if not, again, it could just be that she bit Sadina, knocked him out, and then dueled all those students, bit them, and then knocked them out. Just evil villain stuff, because she's creepy. So next, Camula's lore is pretty much the same. She's an ancient vampire. She wants to steal the souls of duelists and put them in her little dolls. Stuff like that. Her usual stuff. She's a very strong duelist, especially with her vampire cards or new ones. Tanya, always strong. Same lore. Her Colosseum thing, her tiger, her pet tiger, all of that stuff. She's looking for a strong man. I don't know. She'll find one probably. She's got a strong deck too with Modern Amazonas. Dark Scorpions, they are a joke. Same thing. They're just looking to steal keys instead of duel. They're just pathetic duelists. Donzalug with, the Christopher Walken voice. I can't even do a Christopher Walken voice anymore. Abydos, the fraud king. The man who thinks he's the king of games. But clearly not, and you will see why. But he does have Doom King Balderuk, or whatever it's called, that OP zombie. Watch out for him. He could actually win this tournament. Titan, same thing. Phantom of the Opera wannabe or Undertaker wannabe, whatever you want to say. He is known for kidnapping duelists, and so the Shadow Riders can experiment on them. So the boss of the Shadow Riders can experiment on them. So creepy. Night Shroud, of course, the final character and final Shadow Rider member other than the one we don't know about, the boss. Night Shroud was one of those, of course, brainwashed, taken in by Titan, though, this time. And Amnel did experiments on him. And now he's turned into an evil, evil student. Very evil. So, I hope you don't have any questions. That is all 35 duelists in this tournament. I'm excited. Let's freaking go. Remember to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. The channel's name's Animanga, and I shall see you for the tournament, guys. I'm excited. Let's go, guys. Nope, I'm an idiot. I forgot 3 duelists, I believe, and they're all my 3 Keykeepers. I forgot Keykeeper Zane, Keykeeper Kebachet, and Keykeeper Crowler. Duh. So Keykeeper Zane, he is ticked off that they have kidnapped his brother. They have already kidnapped him, so that's already happened. Camula has kidnapped him, and Cyrus's soul has been taken. So this time Cyrus's soul is taken, not Zane's. And now Zane, of course, wants to get Camula. I so hope he duels her and beats her just for revenge for the anime. Because that duel always, I struggle with watching that duel. It hurts me so much. Especially with the fellow Machine Boy. Just like the Crowler duel too. And then Keykeeper Kebachet, she basically finds this Shadow Rider nonsense an insult with her Egyptian lineage. She just feels like they're wannabes, they're hacks. They think they're all ancient mythos, Egyptian style shadow stuff. When she's like, no, I'm the OG. I was there. My dad was freaking Anubis, Egyptian Lord of the Dead. Okay. So Kebachet, as OP as she can be sometimes, she's going to be a great Keykeeper. And of course, Keykeeper Crowler. Can't dismiss Crowler with his pretty strong Ancient Gear deck. In Master Duel, Ancient Gears are strong. So I think Dr. Valiant Crowler will do quite well. And if you don't think so, you're a slacker. So there you go, slackers. Now we have all the characters. And that should be all 35. I will see you guys for the tournament. Bye-bye.